Do you want to unleash your divine empress energy? I sound funny saying that, I think, because I'm, like a bearded dude. That's like, hey, do you want to release your divine empress energy? But I think it's really cool because actually I connect with 90 to 95% of the people that connect with me are women. They're light workers, they're healers, they're spiritually based entrepreneurs like yourselves. And the truth is, whether you're in a man's body or a woman's body, you are spirit soul, and unleashing your divine empress energy should absolutely be at the top of your priority. I know for myself, I've gone through a lot of trainings in my yogic life to be able to marry the divine feminine and the divine masculine, and to play with the feminine energies as well as the masculine energies. And I'll tell you, the feminine energy is powerful, nurturing, beautiful, creative. And when you learn how to unleash that into the world and into your business and into your life, you're coming with a tremendous amounts of power. So I'm looking forward to this conversation. I'm looking forward to introducing you to your guest today. She's a very powerful woman, and she's going to be sharing with you how you can unleash your divine empress energy. Now, before I introduce you to Danielle, I do want to say thank you so much for pressing play. If it is the first time that you're ever pressing play here on the Inside Scoop, you may be wondering, who exactly are you? And what is this whole freedompreneurs thing that you've got on the go? Which is two great questions. So first of all, my name is Coach Nick. I'm the co-founder of the Freedompreneurs Club. Over the last several years, I've been training inspired entrepreneurs to master the science of sales so you can become a freedompreneur as well. So what exactly is a freedompreneur? Well, a freedompreneur is someone who's working when they want, where they want, whenever they want, with whoever they want, doing the thing you love to do. You've got a mission, a passion, a calling, some inspiration, some healing, some knowledge, some service that you know you were meant to bring out to the world in a big way. Well, the club is the place where you come to get equipped with the tools, the strategies, and the support to creating that as your reality. And your guest today, Danielle Ingenito, is a freedompreneur, literally. She's part of the Freedompreneurs Club. I get to work with her, which is so cool. And we get to work together. And she's, like I mentioned, she's very powerful. Danielle is a spiritual empowerment coach and healer. She is the founder of the Divine Empress Club. She has over 16,000 YouTube subscribers. So just a couple people are following her and connecting with her. And she's your guest today on the Inside Scoop. Danielle, welcome to the show. How are you doing today?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for having me here. I appreciate it.
Oh, well, I appreciate you spending some time with us and connecting. Now, we're going to be talking about a few different subjects today. Specifically, we're going to be talking about unleashing this divine empress energy, which I think that is, most people that connect with me are entrepreneurs, light workers. They're inspired souls who want to be of service. Just at a high level, why... how does unleashing your divine empress energy actually help our viewers here as inspired entrepreneurs? How does it help them in their business?
Well, in their business, if you unleash your divine empress energy, you stand in your power. You know who you are. And one of the most important things I think would be is that you don't care what people think. And as healers and entrepreneurs, a lot of times we're held back from going live or posting on Facebook or YouTube because we care what people are going to think, if it's a good video, if it's not a good video. So when you stand in your divine empress energy, you don't care about any of that. You know who you are, you own your truth, and you share your messages.
I love it. That's I wrote that down because I'm like, okay, I want to circle back on that conversation. It's one of my favorite topics about what do others think of you? So yeah, I actually love talking about that subject and just empowering people in that way. So before we jump in there, I do want to say thank you so much for those who are tuning in live right now. Those who are watching the recording, I appreciate you. If you're watching it live or you're watching the recording, go ahead, hit that like and love button, send some of those bubbles across the screen. We appreciate that. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you give it a thumbs up and you hit subscribe so you get notified when the new interviews and trainings get uploaded. Make sure you tune into my brand new series. It's a solo show that I do every single Friday called Mystic Sales, where I'm releasing a brand new video every single Friday, about a 10 to 15 minute training to help you master the science of selling. So if you're a light worker, if you're an inspired entrepreneur, a coach, a healer, and you really want to get good at sales, which you should really want to get good at, FYI. You're definitely going to want to tune into Mystic Sales. So make sure you get notifications and you subscribe. And also, you know, leave comments below. I see some comments are starting to come in. I appreciate that. Make sure you ask questions. If you got questions directly for Danielle, put them in the comments below, and that way I can facilitate making sure Danielle gets them. Danielle's not only going to answer some questions for me and for you, but she's also going to pull a couple cards for us today, and we're going to get some divine guidance from her. And lastly, I invite you to share this video out. There are so many, not just women, but men and whatever you identify yourself with. There are so many people, souls right now in the world who are struggling in their life. They are not living an empowered life. They are not living a divine empress life, or they haven't unleashed that energy yet. So let's share this video out so we can inspire as many souls as possible. The only way that we are going to spiritualize this world, the only way that we are going to raise this world into the divine consciousness which it deserves to be in, is if you get on the bandwagon and become somebody who's willing to promote. I know a lot of you guys are hanging out in the background going, yeah, we're cheering you on. And we love you for it. We do. We love you for it. But I'm also challenging you to step out. You know, we're going to talk about what do people think. Step out and start at least sharing other people's videos and spiritual entrepreneurs and spiritual speakers. This is the only way that we're going to reach the masses. So I'm really calling on you to help us out, share this video out so we can get this message out there with as many people as possible. Possibles. That's a new word we've invented, possibles. Yes. All right. I do see a bunch of comments coming in. I'm going to read those in a few minutes. But before we do, Danielle, let's learn a little bit about you. How did you get into this space right now? You've got thousands of people all over the world following you. You're healing people. You're coaching people. What led you onto this path?
Yeah, I feel like it all started when I was a child. I had this connection through my dreams where I could tell that some of the dreams would lead me to things that actually would happen in real life. And I kind of I've had some of circumstances where I was kind of scared. I saw some visions and I kind of pushed it away. So I closed it off for a long time. Fast forward 30 years and I went through a divorce with my ex-husband and it was a little bit horrific. And through that, you know, I hit rock bottom and I was searching for something more. So I actually started learning tarot first, and doing that, it led me into really, I went to school, psychic school, to learn how to connect my intuition and feel and learn about energy. So I got my Reiki master certification and, you know, mediumship and all that. So I just started to dig deeper and learn all these different things and connect to the divine energy, which then helped me lead to healing myself through everything that I've been through.
So there's a couple of things I want to circle back on and touch base about your story. But before we do, I just want to give some shout outs to the folks who are here with us and just acknowledge them. So first of all, Stephanie's here. Hey, Stephanie, thanks so much for being here. And Stephanie's going to be attending the workshop coming up this weekend. Danielle, so are you. So that's really cool. Glad to have you guys here. Jenna says hello. Hey, Jenna, thanks so much for tuning in. We got my friend Tony Lee in the house who says, hi, Nick and Danielle. Thanks so much. And Karen, I believe Karen is our connection, our matchmaker and connected us. So thank you so much, Karen, for tuning in. Wonderful to see you both together. Thank you so much for introducing us. Appreciate it. And Jamie says hello. Hey, Jamie, thanks so much. And Jennifer here who says shared. Thank you so much for sharing the video out. Appreciate it very, very much. I'm just going to check to see if there's some comments coming in on my personal page on the watch party. Anna's here who says hello. Hey, Anna, thanks so much for tuning in as well. So keep the likes, the hearts coming in. You know, keep sharing the video out, especially if you hear something that resonates with you. Give us some energy by hitting those likes, and we prefer the loves, FYI. Just putting it out there. Just saying. Okay, so there's a couple things actually that I want to circle back with you. First of all, you said that you went through a divorce and then you hit rock bottom. Was it the divorce itself that led you to hit rock bottom? What was the dynamic of the relationship that led to the divorce? Like, why was that? Obviously, it's a painful time, but what about it was, had you go to rock bottom?
Yeah, well, it actually started a little bit before the night that everything went down. I was not happy. I was in this marriage that I felt like I wasn't getting any help with the kids. I was just all on my own. I remember going to a therapist and saying, like, I feel like I'm drowning in an ocean and all I'm being thrown is like a swimming. Yeah, so I was very like overwhelmed, I'll say. And so I started to work on myself. I started to change my diet. I started to, work out more, tried to change my mindset. So about 2 years before everything fell apart, I started to try to work on myself a little bit, but nothing was working. So I kept trying to reach for all different things, but nothing was working. And then one night, stuff went down, and the next night it was over. And within 1 week, my ex was with another woman. So it was very hard to get over. That would be my rock bottom. But through that process, I realized about narcissism. I learned about narcissism, and there's a whole process or this thing that they follow with narcissistic tendencies. But throughout that, I learned all I could, but I was still stuck with something. Like, I knew about narcissists. I knew what to stay away from. I knew the red flags, but I didn't realize that, I had to heal myself, the codependency in myself. And a lot of people think that codependency means that they depend on other people. But there's so many successful women out there that they strive and they are still codependent because they are looking for validation outside in themselves. So therefore, I realized that about me, and I started to heal that part of me, and that's what I was missing. So through that, I did that Reiki, and I healed myself with Reiki and other, modalities that I used.
Now, something else that you had mentioned in your story was that what do other people think of you, right? Like, we kind of talked about that Divine Empress energy, you lose that, what do other people think of me, and we get over that kind of stuff. How is it codependency and attracting a narcissist? How is all of that wrapped up?
Yeah, that's wrapped up. That's for sure.
It's always wrapped up.
I think it might be the same thing. Well, like, codependent people are very like people pleasers, because when you, like, I used to volunteer for everything. I used to not be able to say no, because every time I would say yes, it kind of made me feel better about myself, and I was validated because I was helping people. And I feel like a lot of healers may not be codependent per se, but we want to help people. And by helping people, we always say yes. And we don't really establish boundaries around us. But when we say yes, it's like, yes, people like us. So therefore, we care what they think. So we say yes. We don't want to disappoint anybody. And with somebody in a toxic relationship or with a narcissist, like, they're always trying to please this person who's never really going to be pleased.
Right.
And they let their boundaries down and they put themselves out there, and it ends up being toxic for them.
Now, isn't it, I'm imagining that it would be natural for us to want other people to like us, right? Is that not a natural sort of tendency that we all have?
I would say so, but it's not healthy for us to want every single person to like us, because if we want every single person, like, we're going to have to do a lot of things to please everybody. So, I think it's healthy to be okay with it. Like, I feel like codependent cannot have somebody not like them, versus like, we want people to like us, but codependent people are more like, I used to be like, oh my gosh, they're mad at me, and I would do anything possible to get them back to being okay with me.
Got it. Okay. So it's like we all have the natural tendency we want people to like us. I think that's natural. But then there's maybe when we start to, we start to put ourselves at detriment.
Right.
Right. Now, at the time, did you know you were putting yourself at a detriment, or did you know that you were doing something that was really not good for you at the end of the day, but you would still do it anyways? Were you aware? I'm just wondering what the awareness level of it was.
I think I was aware, but I was always like, this is the right thing to do. Like, I just didn't want anybody to be upset with me. So, and apparently it comes from childhood as well. And now that I have healed, I can acknowledge that. But yeah, so I wasn't have boundaries.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'd imagine, like, just as you're talking, I reflect that we're probably even taught that, like, oh, you know, you gotta like try to like please everybody and try not to make anybody upset, whether we're taught it verbally or we're just taught it by mimicking our environments and actions, and the way that a lot of people have are really sacrificing their own selves to please others. And they're losing themselves in that way. I could see this is like almost a cultural phenomena that's happening that, you know, we really need to address. So let's okay. So we've identified, you know, this idea of you know, a toxic relationships, which I know is something that you really work with women to overcome and to get over that and move on, and recognizing the healing that needs to take place within ourselves. What does it mean to unleash your Divine Empress energy? What does that actually do for somebody in their life as a whole?
Well, you know, I feel like it means is to stand in your power, to love yourself, right? And I feel like that's such like a, you know, oh, to love yourself. It's so said now, like said all over the place.
Oh, you're one of those, are you?
Yeah. But like it's not even about love. It's about accepting who you are right now. You know, instead of like, oh, in a year from now when I lose this weight, or in a year from now when my business is more successful. It's about accepting who you are right now and standing in your power and owning your truth and the messages that you have to share, and just the energy that you have around. So also to not care what people think, and to like, you know, go after shit. Oh, I'm sorry. Go after, you know.
You're not the first person to try. I think there was an F-bomb dropped on yesterday's show, so you're good to go.
Sorry. But like, you know, to go after what you want, especially as entrepreneurs, like to go get that income, to go get more people, to show people how, you know, powerful, or how powerful your messages are and how they can help. So I think it's just about, and just like standing tall and being proud of who you are.
Do you find that there's sometimes, like, especially like in the spiritual, you know, world, that's like, oh no, don't have like fault, like don't be proud, because that's like, you know, false pride, or like don't brag, don't tell everybody how great you are, because that's bragging. That's again like false pride. Do you think that there's a lot of that going on amongst spiritually based entrepreneurs and you know, people in general?
Yeah, well, you know, it's funny that you mentioned that, because I'm going to bring it another way. It's like, I feel like when I first started out, it's like I had to help everybody. That was the codependent in me, right? Like I had to help everybody for free, you know, like, so like, and I
We're
did.
working on it. That's okay. Yeah.
But like, you know, but like, because you're spiritual, it's like you just want to help and give all that you can. But as a Divine Empress, you're going to know that it's okay to exchange that energy for money or for other services or whatever that is, but there has to be an equal share of exchange energy there.
Yeah, well, and that's universal law, right? Like we are in exchange. We're simultaneously giving and receiving always at the same time. I think it just becomes about being an open channel, whether it's I'm open to freely give and I'm open to freely receive. Yeah. Right. And just we're just open for the flow of life. You know, a particular yogi that I follow, you know, he was asked about this, about giving and receiving. And he says, it's just life. It's just the process of life. Like it's like, this is just a natural function of life. When you're in the flow of life, you won't actually, you'll leave the conversation of, am I giving or receiving? I'm just living. I'm just doing it, you know, and getting to that place, which you know, I could see that's where you help women go. How do you do it? You know, so it's one thing to talk about, okay, let's, you know, release this Divine Empress energy, but how do we actually do it?
So in the Divine Empress Club, which is why I created a club, because it's a community as well. And within this club, I go live like 3 times a week. And the first thing I go live with, which I feel so important, is Reiki energy healing. And a lot of people don't know what Reiki energy healing is. So I really explain it as like, I'm connecting the divine energy. I'm a vessel or a channel, and connecting the divine energy into your energy. And I was talking to somebody yesterday, and they're like, no, maybe not Reiki. I was like, oh no, we're doing Reiki. Like, because I think that's the most important part of this club, to be honest, is because you don't really have to do much work. It's the divine energy just connecting, and your energy transmutes and it starts to just change. And it's like, you don't have to do that hard work as like you would in therapy about talking and writing and all that stuff. It just happens. And it raises vibrations, it gets your energy higher, and you start to feel better in a very short amount of time. Awesome. The second thing I do in there is spiritual guidance. So I have two things. I have tarot. We meet once a week for tarot. So you'll get your own personalized tarot message, because I think it's really important. And like, they might come in thinking that they want to know something, but the divine is going to tell them something else that is going to help them more. And then I also go live with a guidance session hour so that they can come and talk to me about anything going on. And I help them through that, maybe to shift their mindset around it or give them some action steps. And then the last thing is about accountability, is that since I'm live, it's like all you have to do is show up, and then it just starts to happen. You know, you don't have to do all that hard work. It's just showing up, listening, hearing the message, connecting the energy. And then like all of a sudden you'll see that Divine Empress energy just start to unleash.
I love it. I love it, because I think that when many people, especially healers, chat, they talk always about the healing or the energetic side of it, right? You know, Reiki or whatever modality that they're using, but very few talk about the actual, what I'll call the material side of it, or like the accountability and showing up, right? How important is it that we show up and take action as well?
Yeah, I think it's really important. And, you know, if they can't show up live with me, I have a library of videos so if they miss the live, it's in the library, and there's all extra stuff in the library too. So it's not even just showing up live, it's just showing up, like showing up to this video, showing up to this interview, you know, like just showing up, because I feel, and I always say this, when you show up, you're putting your intention out there to the universe that you want to learn, that you want your energy to heal, that you want to live a better life. So just showing up and watching the videos, showing up live, which I love when they do, it's transformation. It really is.
Fantastic. Now, one of the things you mentioned you do is tarot readings, right? Tarot card readings. And I know you got, I think you got your cards handy with us for today. So, yeah, do you want to, how does it work? The show is yours. Why don't you lead us in a couple, maybe pull a couple cards for us, or tell us how it goes down, and let's see what kind of guidance we can get from you today.
Absolutely. Let's see. All right. So this is going to be for anybody that's watching the video now or in the future. Okay. What message do we have?
I always like when people are pulling cards and they pull the card and then they smile. They give that little smirk, like, like kind of like, yeah, we knew that was coming up, or like, this is gonna be good. Yeah,
it's good. It's good. All right. So the first card that we have is the Page of Pentacles, and the second card is the King of Pentacles. So those two cards together, I'm like, this is great for this group. So the Page of Pentacles is all about an offer of money, and then sitting with that King of Pentacles energy right next to it, this is like telling everybody in here, like, get rid of the thoughts that you can't do this. Get rid of the thoughts that this is too hard, because it's not. When you sit in this energy of the King of Pentacles, he's not worried. He's not worried about money coming to him. He's not worried about finding his next client. He just knows who he is and is sitting there and knows that things are just going to come to him. And when you're sitting in that energy, but you've got to give it to yourself with this card. You've got to allow yourself to be in that energy, and you got to trust in the divine. The next card that came out was the Judgment card. So that Judgment card is all about, you've got to let, and what they're telling me right now is that a lot of us here, we've got to let the judgment of ourselves. It's not about others either. It's about ourselves. We've got to let, I'm not good enough. They're better than me. Like any type of that judgment on yourself, like I haven't been doing this long enough. You got to let that go, because he's not worried about that. You know, he knows who he is. He's sitting there and he knows that everything's going to be okay. So that is what I have for the group.
That's fantastic. It really is relevant. That was why that love there. It's always cool, right? And I really love, like, you know, it's funny because I have to admit that, like, when people pull cards and such at the beginning, I was very skeptical. I was like, oh, you're going to pull some cards and that's going to tell me. But I'm always blown away at how relevant the message is, or how accurate the message is. So much to the point where I got my own cards and I was like, yeah, let me see what the cards got for me today. And it's pretty incredible. How do these cards why use tarot cards to help us on our spiritual path and to help us unleash this Divine Empress energy? Why not just trust the energy or the messages that we receive? Why use these divination tools?
The cards. I sometimes, as a healer, as a tarot reader or whatever, I actually like to pull energy before I actually read the cards, just because I don't want to depend on my cards. So these are kind of just a tool, like you said. It's not everything. This isn't my connection. My connection is already here. But I use the cards because people like them, right? Well, people know tarot cards. So that's one thing. And I just like them. Like I think it's people like to see them, like visual, like you teach, right? Yeah. Like we like to see something. So if I'm just here and being like, la la la, this is what they say, that's all good. But if they can see the cards, and some of these cards are really beautiful, it gives them that visual connection as well.
That guy reminds me of myself, just saying.
I'm hoping you're talking about this one, Nick, right?
Yeah, totally. I was like, yeah, I totally get him. Yeah.
Not this one, right?
No, yeah, I got that one too, but I like to. Yeah.
That's your feminine side.
Yeah, I like to put her aside once in a while. Yeah. Yeah, no, it makes sense what you say. Like, I do like to see the cards, and they not only do they have a very visual appeal, but it does help us. It helps us believe. It helps us really connect to that message in a visual way. And most of us buy visually, right? Something I teach, as you know, is that people buy visually, and buying doesn't just mean buying with our money, but even buying into an idea, buying into a message, because we can receive a message, but if we don't buy into it, it doesn't do anything for our life. Right. So that ability to buy in. So tell us, you've got this Divine Empress Club. Tell us a little bit about how it works and how people can get a hold of you and connect with you and join the club.
Yeah, I mean, anybody on here can PM me or visit any of my Facebook group. I have a Facebook group, Dee's Divine Guidance VIP. I also have a business page or my personal page. However, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so once you join the group with me, it's like instant, right? So you'll get access to the library of everything you've missed so far. So in the Divine Empress Club right now, like I connect to archangels. Every month we talk about chakras, we do money mindset beliefs, just because there's so much of that, and to really unleash your Divine Empress, go after what you want, we got to get rid of some of those mindset beliefs as well that's holding us back. And then you get access to me through that platform, all the links to join me live for the week, which is again 3 times a week. And we just start your empowerment. And right now I'm giving away 20-minute free calls, just so that if you join, I get to meet you and really kind of see how we can tailor this to you. What intention should you go into the Reiki with, and all that stuff.
Beautiful, fantastic. So just to make that crystal clear, best way is to reach out to you first, connect with you, share that you're interested at least in learning more about the club and about you, and then you can guide the person on to how to get started with you.
Sure. I mean, if they're really excited, just click the link and join. But yes, absolutely. Like, I would love to connect first.
Yeah, fantastic. I love it. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Danielle, thank you so much for spending this time with us. I really appreciate it and appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate you, Nick. You're fabulous. And if anybody's looking to generate more sales, you are the way to go.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. And guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Those who tuned in live, those who watched the recording, so appreciate it. You know, I go live every single 4:15 Eastern Standard Time, live on my Facebook page. The videos get uploaded to YouTube, so make sure you're getting your notifications. Make sure you're subscribing so you get notified when the new interviews go live. Tomorrow we got Jesse Anderson. Jesse is a social media expert. He's going to be sharing with us some shortcuts to increasing our social media reach. So if you're a healer, a light worker, you're an inspired entrepreneur, you want to reach more people, you're definitely going to want to tune in tomorrow. You want to connect with me? Reach out. I encourage you to, and I definitely encourage you to reach out to Danielle, connect, join the club, and get access to this type of healing. I'll tell you, it was healing that made the biggest difference in my life, and that's what Danielle is facilitating for you. So reach out to her, connect, and make sure you guys take action on that. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow for another episode. Have a fantastic day.